So we're in the midst of a big electrical project in the barn here. This is our entirely chainsaw milled barn that we built. And we're currently running power via an extension cord from a 30 amp circuit out over there. We recently came off our main panel and ran PVC, gray PVC underground, and coming up to a panel on the back here. And we're currently working on running EMT Conduit in these 1900 boxes to give us power all throughout here, instead of being limited to a comically small single 30 amp circuit on an extension cord. We'll have a still relatively small 100 amps in here on 12 different circuits. However, in the future, we'll probably be adding another at least 100 amp service when this barn gets expanded out. So today, working on kind of continuing this here. We've got a 50 amp 220 for the welder, which kind of lives in this area at the moment. It's going to be for a light going outside. We've got plugs here. I try to put alternating ones, so we've got two circuits right next to each other in the event you're running two sort of high amperage tools at the same time. We put in switches that'll control these plugs, which is where all the lighting's going to plug in. I put lighting in here just with regular old plugs initially, like 120 plug-in kind of lights. So rather than taking those out and hardwiring, I'm just running switches which go up to these, and all the lights will kind of string and plug into those. I wanted to put the lights on two separate circuits so we can run more lights, and in the event I pop a circuit doing something over here, well, these are two separate circuits. If I'm plugged in here, I trip that breaker, I don't lose all my lights. So half the lights in here will be on one circuit, the other half will be on another circuit. I'll probably end up putting more lights as we run conduit and plugs and power through the whole barn here. But that's kind of what we're working on at the moment, along with all of our other projects. You can see we got kind of our little wire pulling rig set up here. And yeah, we're getting after it. So we're coming around the back here. We just had a big storm yesterday, so everything's quite a mess out here, but we did a bunch of excavation recently to kind of mitigate some of this. You can see a lot of water running down. I think we got 8 inches in the last 2 days. But here's the outside panel where we're hooking up our next run of circuits to. I'm just kind of sighting down, lining up that LB 3 inches off the wall to the end. And the depth of this fitting as well, more like ½ an inch. So we'll do this at 3.5, which should give us our distance from the LB kind of coming through the wall into the 1900 box. Nice clean hole there. So let's see if we can go ahead and get this LB mounted in here. This is going to just come right through there. We've got this ring with a little rubber gasket on it to help keep any moisture out of this box. So here you see the other side. This thing about those Forstner bits is they give you a pretty nice clean hole. This one had a little bit of tear out, but it'll be covered by the box anyways. Looks pretty good. So I'm by no means a expert when it comes to bending conduit. I'm basically a novice, would be almost a stretch, just learning. But so basically I've got my box offset here and then my 90, which is gonna send this run up and across. Pretty cool tool, reamer and bits on there. I initially thought I could run up here right along this edge and then flip up behind this batten, which in theory I could do, but I didn't give myself enough room to make the curve and go back in there. Essentially, I'm trying to do that to go back into that, and I'm trying to bend at 90, but there's only room to do one or the other. So I think what I've decided is I'm gonna cut the part of this shelving out. When you've got a chainsaw milled barn, you tend to use a chainsaw instead of a jigsaw or a reciprocating saw. So you see now I should be able to continue this line, kick it out 2 inches over that structural piece, and then just drill a hole in here. And then I'll jaunt it over and bend up that way.
To here, right? And then it just stabs down.
Okay.
They call them stab lock for a reason. Okay.
Simple enough.
But since I'm short and these are tall, this is our number 1 circuit. The black is going to go into here, right, into the breaker. The white, the neutral, will travel over here and tie into the neutral bar.
Makes sense.
Right? The green will tie into the ground bar.
Got it.
All right? Here.
So I had to go back here several times because in order to make this connection and fit it through that hole with the offset and everything, I had to undo where it was affixed in these spots just to get enough play out of it. So there's probably a professional electrician out there laughing. I know there's flexible metal conduit that you can use, but I really wanted to get some practice and try my hand at bending conduit. coming around this is just awfully complicated. I tried using a calculator and I ended up kind of just eyeballing a lot of stuff and a lot of back and forth. But as you can see, it comes back, kind of jaunts around this post, comes up, and then makes the 90 over here. And this will go to a box and it'll split to a couple different runs from there. But all in all, functional. It's probably, you know, using a flexible conduit would be a better way to get around this sort of weird setup and weird obstacles, but kind of fun doing it and came together. Currently, Allie parks her electric car down over there underneath the trees, and we got a big storm coming. So not only is it far away, but it's just not safe to park her car there during a storm. So I got to get this thing in the next hour or so here. This thing's great for cutting conduit that already has wires in it, because you can cut the conduit and not come anywhere close to cutting the wires. I'm putting a dab of silicone on this, as this is out in the elements.